How much do you really know about Nutella? You know it's delicious, of course. You've probably spread it on toast, used it to top pancakes, or, let's be honest here, eaten it by the spoonful straight from the jar. But have you ever stopped to wonder how this jar of pure delight actually makes it to your table? The journey starts far from the shelves of your local grocery store. It begins in the fields. Cocoa pods ripening under the sun, hazelnuts being harvested, sugar beets dug up from the earth. Today, we're peeling back the layers and diving into the entire process, from cocoa pod to Nutella jar. So grab a snack and stick around. We're about to explore how this fan-favorite spread goes from farm to factory and finally into your hands. We will begin our journey at the cocoa plantations. Cocoa, it's possible that you've heard it wrong. Although most of us are familiar with it as an ingredient in chocolate, few of us have ever seen the actual production process. Imagine a forest of verdant, tropical trees, each one clustered with a plethora of golden cocoa pods. Using their machetes as if they were an extension of their arm, skilled laborers systematically traverse the fields. They are exceedingly precise, picking only the ripest pods and letting the rest ripen to perfection. Working with cocoa pods, which contain the seeds that will grow into beans, is a physically demanding and time-sensitive process. The flavor of your Nutella actually starts with these seeds. Workers carefully load up big baskets with the harvest, taking care not to break any pods along the way. The following phase starts after they have collected a haul. On the way to the processing factory, the workers check each basket full of pods to make sure they are still of the highest quality. The first transition occurs when the pods arrive at the processing plant. In order to remove any dirt, leaves, or other impurities that may have accompanied them from the farm, they are spread out on tables and scrubbed clean by either humans or machines. The delicate cocoa flavor could be ruined if any contaminants are introduced at this critical stage. When the pods start to shine, it's time to open them. Workers carefully crack open each pod using sharp instruments, exposing rows of shiny, wet cocoa beans enclosed by a gooey, white pulp. The beans still don't resemble chocolate in any significant way. They resemble soft, chewy seeds at the moment. The secret to Nutella's famous flavor is actually inside these beans, so don't be deceived. Scooping out the beans from the pods is the next step. Although this step requires a lot of manual labor, every bean is important. The objective is straightforward: preserve the integrity of each and every useful seed while extracting it. The beans are sorted after they are free to make sure only the best ones move on to the next step. The ones that make it through the inspection can be dried The nibs is the first step in making a thick, rich powder that may be mixed with other ingredients. This is the second round of quality checks on the powder, during which we measure its uniformity, flavor, and texture. It is returned to the grinding table for a second attempt if it fails. After it's just right, it's put in a bag and put aside until it meets the other Nutella stars: milk, sugar, and hazelnuts. The sugar beet farms are our next stop, so let's change topics. Sugar is a key ingredient in Nutella, but it's easy to forget that the spread wouldn't be the same without it. After removing them from the ground and shaking off any leftover dirt, farmers harvest tons of sugar beets. After harvesting, the beets are taken to a processing facility to undergo cleaning, cutting, and shredding. Fascinatingly, all parts of the beet are utilized in this process, whether it's for sugar or other byproducts. There is a lengthy process that begins with shredding the beets and ends with boiling and centrifuging the liquid to separate the sugar crystals from the pulp. Nutella goes through extensive quality testing before any sugar is added, making ensuring the sugar is completely pure, free of any impurities that could change the texture or flavor of the end result is the main objective. The mixing stage is reserved for the finest sugar. All right, let's move on to milk. A lot of credit for Nutella's velvety consistency goes to the high-quality milk that went into making it. Where the cows are fed and cared for properly is where the milk comes from. There will always be plenty of Nutella quality milk from these cows because they are bred to produce a lot of milk. Transporting the milk to a facility for testing ensures it satisfies all regulations once it is collected. We will reject anything that even slightly tastes odd or seems contaminated. Milk is processed into milk powder after it passes all tests. This powder is then combined with the other ingredients. Collecting and preparing hazelnuts. Without a doubt, hazelnuts are the most recognizable Nutella component. The finest hazelnuts are plucked in the late summer from Turkish orchards. Ripe hazelnuts fall to the ground as a result of machinery gently shaking the trees. The next step is to collect the nuts, sort them, and then send them to the processing plant. The hazelnuts are roasted to bring out their rich, nutty flavor after being cleaned to remove any impurities. Only the finest hazelnuts are selected for further inspection after roasting. At last, they are ground into a paste that will give Nutella its rich, nutty flavor. Unfortunately, palm oil is essential to Nutella's velvety smoothness, despite its undeserved negative reputation. Produced from sustainably farmed palm fruits, Nutella's palm oil is a secret ingredient. Before pressing the fruits to extract their oil, They are sanitized to kill any bacteria. Before it's mixed with Nutella, this oil is filtered and refined to make sure it's top-notch. Combine all of the ingredients at once. The hazelnut paste, cocoa powder, sugar, and milk powder are mixed in big industrial mixers. The meticulous mixing process gives Nutella its signature silky smooth texture by allowing all of the ingredients plenty of time to blend together. Technicians watch the blending process closely at every stage to make sure the consistency is perfect, which might take hours. To achieve perfection, every parameter is precisely controlled, including temperature, mixing speed, and even room humidity. Once all the ingredients are in the mixer, cocoa powder, hazelnut paste, sugar, milk powder, and the all-important palm oil, what happens next is pure culinary chemistry. The ingredients don't just mix together right away, it's a process, carefully timed and executed to create that signature creamy texture Nutella is famous for. The mixer starts off slow, blending everything together in stages. First, the dry ingredients are fully incorporated, ensuring that there are no lumps or inconsistencies in the powder. This is where attention to detail is key. Too fast, and the mixture becomes too dense. Too slow, and it won't blend properly. After the initial mixing, the process ramps up. Now it's all about refining the texture. The mixture is continuously stirred and whipped with the goal of achieving that iconic smoothness. Machines are constantly monitoring the consistency to make sure there are no gritty bits and that the spread remains light and silky. The temperature is carefully controlled as well, ensuring that none of the ingredients overheat or separate. During this phase, secret ingredients are added, small touches that give Nutella its unique flavor profile. These are tightly guarded by the company, so we can only speculate what might go in. But once those are added, the mixture is stirred for hours until it reaches the perfect consistency. By now, it's not just a collection of ingredients, it's Nutella, ready to be jarred and enjoyed. Now that the Nutella has reached its final form, it's time to package it up. This part of the process is mesmerizing to watch. Picture huge vats of Nutella being funneled into a network of automated machines, each one responsible for filling those iconic jars. The machinery is precise. Each jar is filled to the exact same level, with no spills or excess. As the jars pass down the conveyor belt, they're quickly capped with airtight lids to lock in the freshness. The lids are then sealed to preserve the flavor and keep out any unwanted air. This is crucial because Nutella's texture and flavor can change if exposed to the wrong conditions. The next step is quality control. As the jars whiz by, workers and machines alike are on the lookout for any imperfections. Whether it's a jar that wasn't filled enough, a lid that wasn't properly sealed, or a label that's out of place. Those jars are quickly pulled from the line to be reprocessed. The remaining jars continue their journey, ready to be labeled. With the jars now sealed, it's time for labeling and distribution. Automated machines print the famous Nutella labels and apply them to each jar with precision. The labels are more than just decoration. They contain vital information like the expiration date, nutritional facts, and a barcode that will track each jar on its journey from the factory to the store. After labeling, the jars are boxed up and prepared for shipping. Depending on the destination, they might be packed into crates, loaded onto pallets, or even placed in special climate-controlled containers to ensure they arrive at their final destination in perfect condition. From there, the Nutella jars are shipped out to grocery stores, restaurants, and homes all over the world.